Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. If you're a coach or a player who wants to get better, stick around to the end of the video. I've got more information about my monthly membership you've got to check out, or click on the link below in the description. We haven't had a rookie this exciting since, well, Derrick Rose perhaps. And what Ja Morant is doing on a nightly basis can't be ignored any longer. However high I was on him before last night pales in comparison to my feelings now, considering the show he put on against the Houston Rockets. This isn't the low-efficiency player grinding out stats on a bad team, sports fans. This is the Rookie of the Year leading the Memphis Grizzlies on an improbable run that will lead straight to the playoffs. Morant scored 26 points with 8 assists, but not to be overlooked was that he only missed one shot. And some of these highlights are so astounding, forgive me if I show them multiple times and end up a little speechless. They force a switch to get the hounding Austin Rivers off of him, and the combos he's hitting McLemore with are just unfair. Watch what's happening here. Left hand is behind the ball, he skips on the right foot as a change of pace, but then explodes into the lane. Now, he goes off both feet in rhythm, turns sideways before using the torque of facing up the big man to muscle this ball in with a slight double pump. I don't blame Capella for having this on his mind the next time down as they run Morant off a pin down into handoff. Harden is there on Valanciunas, but Capella hugs him too, and Morant gets another layup with a finger roll. On this step-up screen, they use Harden's man, and this is important, so pay attention. Watch how the ball goes one way, but the feet indicate he's going a different path. The crossover happens early, then he jab steps with the right foot. This gets him into the lane, and I can't tell you how impressive it is to hit a twisting fadeaway floater over to the fender. I mean, this is otherworldly. In a little foreshadowing, they pick on Harden again by forcing the switch, and look at the audacity to just straight ISO on the leading scorer in the league. James, you gonna play any defense? I guess not. More pistol action gets Morant a mismatch out top with Capella. Remember, he's at about 41% from 3, and he really needs to take more than 2 a game. Check the focus he gets from Austin Rivers. I don't blame him for leaving Melton open, but Morant makes the right decision to feed his teammate and get him going off the hop. They run him off an Iverson cut to the left wing, leaving Rivers desperately trying to catch up. It flows into a ball screen that Morant doesn't need, and one thing that stands out is that he's almost never looking to score. He's constantly scanning for open players and cutters, and McLemore is all turned around as Dillon Brooks gets right to the hoop on a cut and gallops in for the layup and sweet Morant dime. Make sure you're sitting down for this one, folks, because you're gonna want to stand up when you see it. Jackson sets the inside ball screen, and the Rockets defense allows him to use it. First off, the yo-yo dribble that CP3 made popular as he spins the ball and uses the arm as a fake to the crossover. Morant now draws 2 defenders to him, and Rivers must have been stunned to see him try a behind-the-back flip to the roll man. Thankfully, Jaren Jackson Jr. was ready for it, and the and one as well. Morant is so explosive. How explosive is he? He is so explosive, he's rapidly entering a very special pantheon of players that require 2 defenders to stop him in the open court. Watch how he does the spin move. None of that jump stop spin that so many coaches teach. He plants the right leg in front and never stops as the left swings around past the defender and then finishes off 2 feet in rhythm. Perfect. He got into it defensively, reading that PJ Tucker was in trouble and pressured Rivers into tripping over the hash mark painted on the floor. And this is just a guy having fun in the gym. Behind the back to himself, why not? And then the assist for a sledgehammer. Check the backboard to make sure it didn't break. Let's get to some more fun in the open court. What on earth is Harden trying to do here? Doesn't he know Morant is a professional ball handler? And to the coaches who say you should never jump in the air to pass, I present you this. In the second half, they run 2 slip screens in a row for him. What the second one does is get Eric Gordon sliding out of the way, and a specialty of Morant's is his off-foot game, one-handed lefty scoop off the left foot jump. Clinging to a 2-point lead early in the fourth, the Rockets contained this ball screen well, but that never stopped Morant from creating on his own. Watch how he lifts both feet in the air, swivels them over, then explodes past Rivers into the lane. He extends the right step jump extra long, then impossibly twists back to the right to uncork a drifting jumper. I mean, what? Again, Morant more often is looking to pass, but understands how to use his aggressiveness to sell a scoring drive. He sucks 3 defenders to him in the paint, he's got several passing options, and let's just say he chose wisely. While this play may look simple as he gets an assist from a corner 3, let's look again, shall we? It's a no-look pass that froze the help defense and allowed Solomon Hill to check the win with his finger. He was so wide open. And Ja got into it as a wing player when Hill grabs the rebound, pushes it fast, and PJ Tucker can't get out there in time to stop him from dropping it through. With the Grizzlies taking control of this game, they run a weave across the top in order to get Ja attacking with a ball screen on the right wing. You know it's your night when you cross over the big man, get the ball knocked away clean, grab the loose ball, and in one motion toss it up while getting fouled and make the shot. What? And for some symmetry, poetry, or whatever you want to call it, Morant gets the switch with Harden, does the Maverick as he hits the brakes, calmly steps behind the line, and cold ends this game 2 minutes early. You might not realize that the Grizzlies are currently in the playoffs with the 8th seed while in the midst of a 6-game winning streak. What's really impressive to me is that they have 4 players averaging at least 19 points a game during the stretch, and Jonas Valanciunas is doing his damage like we'd expect him to, down low, on the block, where he's got the power moves to go along with some touch from the outside. But he's got dimension to his game, letting him handle it in the perimeter for one of my favorite plays, the fake handoff to the finish at the basket. And he knows how to set a tough ball screen and roll right into the lane for soft finishes when the defense is forced to rotate to the ball handler and can't recover with enough size to effect these shots. Next up is Jaren Jackson, who's scorching the Nets from behind the arc with a decidedly unorthodox form to the tune of 48% from behind the arc on a whopping 7 attempts per game during this win streak. That said, the only thing a little off might be his legs, since the rhythm he generates is optimal and very consistent, and as we all know, that's the most important thing about shooting. But he can also put the ball on the deck out of pick and pops and get right to the basket for tough finishes, even with his left, making him extremely difficult to cover since you have to put someone with a lot of size and length on him who might not move quick enough laterally. They honestly don't get him picking and rolling nearly enough, as this should be their go-to with him and Ja, but perhaps they're just saving it for the playoffs when they make it. Then we get to a player at the top of my favorite player list, Dillon Brooks. I loved his game in college, and it's gratifying to see him blossoming now in the NBA as a glue guy who can do a little bit of everything. He provides them good spot-up shooting as a cog in the machine out of their offense. He can run the pick and roll mainly as a scorer, both from behind the arc if you leave him too much room, but he does have a nice finishing package, like this shot as he goes off the left foot, drifting, and puts it in softly off the glass. And he's perfectly capable of seeing the floor and making the right reads as a passer as well, at full speed and on target. In the pick and roll, check this one-handed lefty pass he makes right to the shooting pocket, setting up Jackson Jr. with a wide-open corner 3 and a gorgeous dime. And as a secondary go-to scorer when they need a bucket, they can turn to him if Ja is tired or being hounded too tightly on defense, and I have confidence that he'll make a play to help his team. In December, head coach Taylor Jenkins came up with a new lineup of 4 bench players alongside Jaren Jackson Jr. that's been absolutely killing it on both ends of the floor. Imagine being able to rest 3 of your principal players and find a unit that is putting up numbers like these. Of course, they didn't get a minute together last night, which leads me to believe coaches don't always pay attention to the lineup data. But please, let's see more of this lineup to find out if it's legit, since you're gonna need them come playoff time, which is crazy to say considering where everyone picked the Grizzlies to finish. But in the wild, wild west, anything can happen. And if you got Ja Morant riding for you, it probably will. So if you're a coach or a player looking to get better at your craft, you must check out my monthly membership. Every month I add more and more videos on the court to explain how to do certain skills better if you're a player and how to communicate and teach skills better if you are a coach. It's something you won't see anywhere else, cutting edge techniques. So make sure you click the link below. I'll even give you a free video if you click it right now, and I guarantee you, you will improve your knowledge and your skill. So what are you waiting for? You win.